guys and welcome to today's video. Today I need to tackle my brows, girl. My brows are, well, they're there, like you can see them, but they're a little bit thin, a little bit sparse, and the problem is with my brows is that I've got like loads of long hairs, so you can't take one hair out, otherwise it looks like there's a massive chunk missing. So I don't have a lot of brow hairs, I just have like quite a few and they're really long, and that's what makes up my brows. If you have the same problem, you feel me. Now, I am a complete wuss when it comes to tweezers. I have probably tweezed about 2 hairs out of my brows in my entire lifetime because I'm terrified of them. They hurt my face and I'm a complete wuss, like I've just established. So I used to just cut them with nail scissors like this, kind of like spool them up and just trim them, and just trim any other loose hairs like that are a bit rogue around this area just to the very root. And I still do that actually. I still just trim my brows with nail scissors. However, I have come across these things which are called Tinkle eyebrow razors. I use these to actually shave all of my face because I find that I get very like peach fuzzy around here, and you know, I've got dark hair. I get a little bit of a tash going on every now and again. I also have really sensitive skin, so I've tried like the Veet stuff around my face and I actually don't react well to it at all. I get very red and very irritated, so I try to avoid things like that. I don't want to bleach my hair, I don't want to put chemicals on my face if I can help it, because my skin flares up and really doesn't like it. So I found these Tinkle razors they're on Amazon for about like £1.50, something like that, and that's after shipping. They're really cheap. You get 3 eyebrow razors. Mine is already open because I'm already using one at the moment. So they just look like this and they come with a little guard, so that is the razor itself. This razor is not sharp by any means. It's not like your sort of arm or leg hair razor. It's not like that at all. You couldn't cut yourself with this. Like, it's scratching me, but it's not cutting, if that makes any sense. So it's very gentle. You won't scratch your face with this razor, so do not worry about that. I know this is going to be about my brows today, but I do want to say, if you are thinking about shaving your face or you've never done it before and you don't know what's going to happen to your face. For me personally, I've never had a problem with shaving my face. I've shaved my face all the time. I haven't done it in quite a few months actually. I haven't done it probably since summer, but I never have a problem with it. I just simply work in an upwards motion on my jawline a lot of the time and around my face, sometimes around the forehead, but I always get like peach fuzz in this area, so I always just work in an upwards motion, just doing it like that. I'll give you a demo right now, shall I? I always make sure I have nothing on my face. My face isn't wet at the moment, it's got nothing on it. If it is wet or moisturised, the hairs will stick down and you won't be able to catch them, so it's better just to have a clean, dry face. And I take the razor and I simply just work in an upwards motion. And you'll kind of hear it. I don't know if you can, well, I don't know if you can hear it, you probably can't because it's quite faint, but you'll be able to hear like this sounds, and it sounds terrifying at first, but don't worry, it's completely fine. Here you go, you'll be able to see this like peach fuzz. I don't know if you can actually see it on my little razor here. Can you see that peach fuzz just on the razor, just there? You can just about see it on my middle finger, just there. I don't shave my face on a regular basis. I probably do it maybe 4 times a year, so literally every 3 months really. Probably that's when I do it, every 3 months. And like I said, I just go up my face, stretching my face out like that, and just work in upwards motion. And then you just brush away all the little baby hairs that you've scraped off, and it's absolutely fine. So it looks red, but it doesn't hurt your face whatsoever. And then afterwards I just get a little cleanser or something, just make sure all the hairs are off my face, and then just put a moisturiser on, and my skin, it's absolutely fine, and it kind of serves me well for quite a few months. Also, do not worry, your hairs do not grow back bigger and blacker. I feel like that's a fear of a lot of people, that their hair will grow back really thick and really black, just like it would in arm hair and leg hair, like armpit hair and leg hair. It doesn't, don't worry, your face won't feel like a prickly leg. It's absolutely fine. My face has never felt like that, and it's because of these razors. They're layered in a way that kind of grooms the hair, so it cuts it at an angle and not dead straight, so it doesn't feel prickly at all, so don't worry. So moving on to the brows, which is why we're here for this video, I use this razor all around my brows to kind of just clean up the area and clean up any kind of just drifting off hairs. So yeah, I'll zoom in as much as I can and just show you how I do that. Okay, so I've removed any baby hairs above my brows and kind of around, but I still do have quite a lot near my brows. I don't like to venture too close to my brows with this just because it does get them at the root, and like I said, my brows are very long and thin, so as soon as you get rid of one hair it can look quite chunky outside of my brow. So this is where I move on to my spoolie and my scissors, and I just brush all my hairs up so that I look like Count Olaf from Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events. If you know, you know. And then I simply take my nail scissors and I just cut the top of the hair off like so. I don't go completely crazy, but I do take some hair off. As you can see, it's just up here, so just brushing it off. And what that does is when I do brush my hairs up to do my brows, it makes sure that this line is nice and neat on the top. So then I do the same thing, but I push the hairs down like so. And as you can see, a couple of hairs are a little bit too long, so I just do the same thing. I go along and just cut the long ones, and then I just brush out my brow to how I usually would, an upwards and outwards motion. Now I have a few hairs just along here that are just a little bit weird and I want to get rid of them. Now, like I said, you can pluck if you want to, but I am terrified of plucking because I just don't like the pain of it. So I take the scissors and I literally, one by one, just go really to the root and cut that hair away. And normally I have a mirror in front of me to do this, but I'm going to have to take two hands. I just take my pinky finger, cover up my brow and stretch the skin upwards and use the razor to kind of, on a downwards motion, just get rid of the base of those hairs that we were just cutting a second ago. Like that, and always just stop and inspect your work. Make sure that you're not cutting away too much, because obviously once you've cut it, you can't really get it back. But yeah, just keep repeating this process. Lifting, kind of stretching the skin a bit. I know it's not probably the best thing for your skin, but if you stretch it away, you're going to get a cleaner shave line. You're going to get a cleaner shave, basically. And that then is a completed brow in my eyes. I do put brow product in my brows, usually just because I find that my brows are very, they're kind of thin, but just not dark as I would like them. They do match my hair, but I just like a little bit more volume and a bit more of a statement in my brows, personally. Just because they're not bushy, I like them to be able to have a bit more of a defined tail to them. But as a natural brow goes, I feel like this looks nice and clean. Personally, for me, I just enjoy my brows to look like this. I haven't taken away too much hair, I haven't plucked anything. I've caused no pain to myself, it's not taken long at all. Okay, so I've just combed them both up how I usually would with my brows. As you can see, this one just has a little less definition. It's got quite a few hairs going on. It looks a little bit scraggly from the top and the bottom, and this one just looks a little bit more clean cut and just it looks more intentional, you know. This one looks like I've abandoned it for a long time, and that's because I have. Okay, so I'm just going to really quickly speed up the process of doing this brow, and then I'm going to put some product in them. Okay, so I shaved the rest of my face. There might be a few like red patches, and that's just where the razor has kind of got caught on a bit of texture. Like I said, it doesn't hurt. I've just got really uber sensitive skins. They are reusable. They're not a one-time use thing. Just keep them clean, and then you'll notice that they start to get a bit more blunt over time. And then you have just another two to switch out. So I really, really like these. I really recommend them for the face and for the eyebrows. I don't know. I'm happy with the results it gives me. I'm happy with how soft my face feels. It's washed, and I put a moisturiser on it. Like I said, I do all the time. So if it's a bit glowy, it's because I've got a moisturiser on. I'm just really happy with the results it gives me, and it kind of takes away my top lip hair without kind of being abrasive to my skin at all. So I really, really recommend them if you've got sensitive skin, personally. Obviously, like I said, these are under £2, and apart from 15 minutes of my time, that is all it's taken me in real time. It's actually taken 16 minutes. It took 16 minutes in real time. So yeah, with 16 minutes, a couple of quid, a spoolie and a pair of nail scissors, you kind of have got your brows done for free, practically. I mean, £2 it's cost you for the razors. I've never had my brows done, never had them threaded, never had them plucked, never had them waxed, because I'm cheap, I'm tight, and I refuse to pay it when I can do it myself. So if you feel like you've got similar brows to me, and you feel like you don't have very bushy brows, but you do like to maintain them and keep them quite neat, then this might be an alternative for you. I typically only use 3 different products for my eyebrows, not all at the same time, because I'm just too lazy, to be honest. For days when I want really, really quick and natural brows, I use a brow pencil, just because I feel like I can draw hairs in really quickly, brush them out, and then just kind of be out the door. So if I've got minimal time, I just kind of use this brow pencil along the base of my brow, just flick up a few hairs, brush it out, and I feel like it's just added a bit of volume without taking ages and having to carve out the brows, anything like that. So that's what I go for when I want natural, very light, feathery brows, and this is just the Colourpop brow pencil in Dope Taupe. These are my favourite brow pencils on planet Earth because they're just so creamy and beautiful and they blend nicely, so if you're in the market for a brow pencil, I highly recommend. On an everyday basis, I usually use my MAC eyeshadow, which is very, very well loved, in the shade Charcoal Brown. I find that this colour has enough cool tonedness, like ashiness to it, to match my hair and not to look too warm in the brows. I hate having my brows feel too warm because I feel like it doesn't kind of correspond with my hair colour. I've got very ashy brown, like dark brown hair. So this is the one I use. I have got a backup of this, but it's lasted me a good 5 years, this eyeshadow. I literally kid you not. So yeah, Charcoal Brown, it's just a matte brown eyeshadow from MAC. And I'll apply this with just a brow brush like this. I don't know if you can see that slantedness of it. And this is the Zoeva 322 brow line brush. You can use a bigger brush or a smaller one. It's completely up to you. I just find this is nice and quick. I use this on an everyday basis just because it is quick and it does fill out my brows just nice and quickly, but also kind of gives me a bit more bold effect. In comparison to the pencil, I don't really go towards the pencil for a big bold effect. I use this more for preciseness and kind of drawing out feathery brows, if that makes sense. I then also have a brow pomade which I use with a spoolie and a brush which is even smaller than my other one. I don't know if you can just see that there. It's a nice slanted one, kind of like an eyeliner brush really. This is the Colourpop eyebrow pomade in Dope Taupe again. I love the Colourpop brow products. They're my absolute fave. I find them so creamy and they just look really nice. This is kind of my go-to going out brows when I've got a bit more time to finesse, because with this I can carve underneath my brows, get a really bold effect, but because of the colour and because of the creaminess of it, I feel like I can blend it out with my spoolie and it doesn't look too bold and blocky. So yeah, those are the products that I use. I think for the sake of this video I'm going to use the pomade just because it's a little bit more full and a bit more extra, but like I said, the brow pencil and the little eyeshadow are my favourite things to put my brows on an everyday basis just because they're so quick and easy. If you want a quick tutorial of how I do brow products with all of these products, just pop that down below and I can do like a really quick 5-minute tutorial, or I could just insert it into another tutorial. If you want to know how I apply these, just say and I will do that. I can insert it into another video if needs be. So I just brush my brow hairs up to begin with and then go straight into the pomade with the brush and then start at the bottom of my brow by drawing a line. And then I do the same, but I start kind of like a centimetre away from the front and draw a line on the top. And I always start a centimetre away from the front just because I don't want them to be too blocky. I'd rather them a bit more natural. And this basically, I'm just determining the width of my brow so that it doesn't get really grouchoey and huge later on. And just slowly start to fill in the brow like so, combing it through at the same time. And then for the front of the brow, I just draw one line up from the bottom, like the base of it, and just keep drawing lines up like little hairs. And I don't add any more product on because I don't want it to be too dark and harsh. I just keep drawing straight up. So when it looks like that, I just comb upwards as well. And I keep repeating this process until I feel like I've got a good top to my brow. Okay, and that to me is a finished brow. Yeah, that's a finished brow. I mean, in comparison, this one looks like I've overdrawn my brows tons. I actually really haven't. It's because I've got such little volume in the hairs. They're so fine that it looks really thin. But this to me is as natural as I do my brows. I don't feel like this is too voluminous. I don't feel like this is too blocky personally. I mean, it's a little bit blocky at the front, but I can just keep spooling this out and just dab it at the front just to make it less so. That is my finished brow. That is how I like to do my brow for a night out when I do a lot of makeup. When I don't want a lot of makeup, like I said, I use very lightweight options just to kind of give my brow a bit more depth but not give it too much volume like I've got right now. So yeah, I'm just going to do my other brow. Bear with me. Okay, so this is the full-on brows. They look a little bit weird without any like foundation or anything on, so I might quickly go put some foundation on so my brows don't look so much crazy. So yeah, that is how I do my brows. I don't typically apply brow gel just because I find that I don't have a lot of bushiness to my brow, so nothing kind of needs to stay. But if I want to do, or if I'm having a long evening or a long day, I will just put brow gel in just to actually keep the product in more than the brows in the right place, if that makes any sense. I'm very aware that they look very bold and very impactful without any other makeup on my face, but this is just how I do my brows. This is my going out brow. They're very bold, so I would have a lot of other makeup going on in my face, but like I said, I apply lighter products if I'm going to have less makeup on my face so that it all looks kind of with each other. Less makeup, less brow, more makeup, more brow. if that makes any sense. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate and give a thumbs up. If you do want to see how I do natural brows, I could do like a natural makeup and natural brows kind of situation. If you want to know how I do that, that's absolutely fine. Just pop that down below and I will do that for you. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to exit this video looking a bit like a weirdo with just brows on, but never mind. Bye. Around, focus. I've shaved my face as well.
Oh.
After your mean comments about my moustache, I've shaved it off.
Shout out to Megan's fans. Get her to 3K. See you later.
Bye. God damn it. Why does this happen to me? I just spat.